Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. This is Dan Paris, and you'll notice that I'm joined by my regular co-host, colleague, producer of Wisdom Wednesday, Mario Martinez, and El Jefe, our boss, Jeff Robbins, the CEO of By Referral Only. Good morning, Jeff and Mario. How are you guys both doing?
Doing good. Doing
Doing
good,
good.
Dan. Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Uh, one of the reasons why I invite you, it's actually twofold reasons why, in particular, you come to this version of Wisdom Wednesday, and that is because you invented it. And the two things that you invented about what we're doing today is you invented the by referral only one-page business plan that we started doing in about 3 years ago at the end of the year, saying that, what would be really, really cool for the membership of by referral only is if they had a one-page document after we do our business planning that they could then use as like a one pager they could hang up in their office on a bulletin board, even like put it on a mirror in their bathroom, and just whenever they need to be reminded about what's your direction, they can summarize their whole year down to one page. That's the and on that business plan is every quarter client appreciation, client appreciation, client appreciation. The other thing that you did that we'll talk about in a moment is the idea of know your budget for your client appreciation. Like you may have two budgets in real estate. You may have your budget for your spend for what we call your before unit. And what is maybe more important, that is the budget that you have for your during unit and after unit. And that was something that you sat down, Jeff, and interviewed a lot of agents and said, hey, here's the deal. Here's what the number is. So we're going to be talking about both of those things today. And I just want to give you guys a moment to settle in wherever you're at and get your computer ready so you can see us and hear us just as well as you want to be as you're walking in the door right here.
Dan,
Um,
one of the things that I wanted
yeah,
to just chime in here really quick is, that was a thank you, great overview of right? The big topic here is client appreciation give. And we're going to give you everything that you need, text ideas, note card ideas, actual physical ideas, and a little bit more a little bit later. But there's a few things that Jeff would like to chat with you guys about, bring awareness. But also, Dan, I wanted to just check in with you if you could please give Jeff the control of the chat,
oh, absolutely.
please. And then and once Jeff is finished sharing his thoughts right now, Dan, then let's go ahead and slide if you can pull up the Q1 through Q4.
Yeah, I'll do
Okay.
I'll do both of those
Okay.
things. Jeff's already a co-host as we
No worries.
speak.
Awesome. Thanks, Mario.
Yep.
I won't let you down. I will chat appropriately and effectively. All right. Before we talk about client appreciation, I just want to say that I'm connected to many of you on social media, and I'm just really proud of really how you guys are showing up socially for your people. And I don't know if you know this or you're carrying this, but you are leaders of your little community of clients, past clients, friends, and family. And the way you show up for them is a big deal. And let's just say we know things are uncertain and it's messy out there, and I can almost compare it to COVID, where it was all that and it was affecting your real estate life in such a big way, right? I can't show houses, I can't do this, I can't do that. Like, it was directly just smashing everything you did every day. And you guys, you went through it and you did it and you came out of it, and you're here now. And I'm just proud of, you've been through that. And as of this moment, real estate is going pretty well. There's positivity. Like, you can literally focus on your job and your career and what you do and it's a little bit insulated at this moment. So this is going to be a marathon. It's not a sprint, and like just keep staying positive. And honestly, there might be times where you just don't say anything because it's just not, you're not going to show up as that leader. So just, keep in your mind, like, is this leadership is what I'm doing here? And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to focus on the work, and we're going to do our best, and we care about all of you, and we're just going to get through this. It's just another thing we're going to get through. And, I always use the rafting analogy. We're going to paddle out of the rapids and keep the boat in the water, and we're going to keep going because that's all we can do. And that's right. We just have to keep doing that. So we'll talk today about giving, like we'll do all that, but just, you guys are doing really good at staying out of the fray and really being positive. And honestly, if I'm choosing or I'm looking for my real estate agent or lender, like I want someone who's not in the fray. Like I just want someone who really is focused on their craft despite distractions. So it's very difficult, more difficult for some than others. We're all in different situations, but just keep doing what you're doing, because honestly, what I see is a very professional group that is showing up in a great way for your clients.
Our friend and mentor says it this way: the best way to inoculate against the three horsemen of unproductivity, which are hesitation, procrastination, and delay, the antidote to that is the word Jeff said, which is positivity. Here, let's start our day with some positivity. Here's something I'm like really excited about is I found out yesterday that we have been doing Wisdom Wednesday for 17 years. And I know that because I'm going to show you the first 30 seconds of this video, and you'll notice that the date on it is 17 years ago. So let's take a look at Wisdom Wednesday, episode 1.
Good morning and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. This is the first in a weekly series on magic words that get referrals that I'll be producing every Wednesday morning for you, and it's entitled Wisdom Wednesday.
Wow, look at how we have grown Wisdom Wednesday in 17 years, because that was filmed. You'll notice the pixelation on that. I will guarantee you that was filmed. Mario will know this, on a flip camera. And a flip camera is something that 17 years ago, imagine that, 17 years ago, the only way you could film something was not on the telephone in your hand. It was on a flip camera, not a flip phone, a flip camera. And a flip camera, I think, was later bought by Polaroid or Kodak. And I still have one, Mario. And Mario knows that I keep everything. I still have one actually, I still have Joe's because he stopped using it. And I'm like, I'll take it. And it was just a device that's the video that it created, was that, like, that pixelation there. And so we've transformed Wisdom Wednesday to not just be a 4-minute and 31-second every Wednesday video, but complete productions. I said it earlier when I was introducing Mario. I called him my producer. Mario produces Wisdom Wednesday, and that means he meets with me 2 or 3 times every week. And we're talking about what we're going to be doing next week. And we're already talking about 4 weeks from now, lining up people like you who want to share your expertise in wisdom. So again, I'd really invite you, either in chat or at the end in the survey, if you can be the membership's hero like Janice Scarborough was a couple of weeks ago, and just say, here's what I'm doing right now and it's working. We want to have you as our guest, because that's what Mario keeps us fresh and doing something new every time. So Mario, that's kind of as much of a thank you to you as it is to kind of just celebrating what happens when you commit to doing something for a long time. Because when Joe said those words, he had no idea that Wisdom Wednesday was going to turn into, who knows in chat, who remembers the Bro Show. And the Pro Show was actually a full-on live stream television set from the office with Michelle Zwicker, me, and Joe, and then into Wisdom Wednesday, which is nimble, can respond to whatever is happening in the marketplace at any moment and give you content that is top notch ahead of everyone else. So, hey guys, happy Wisdom Wednesday birthday. That's
Indeed,
fun, positive, and
indeed.
exciting. And I do, in
Love it.
fact, want to show the business plan that you
I
asked
think Jeff
for.
wanted to say something else
Yeah,
before
go
that.
ahead. You go, Jeff. Yes.
No, let's bring up the plan. Let's
Bring up the plan?
let's get down to business.
So the plan is if you don't have a copy of this, Mario, do you have a fillable one you can
Yes,
put in
I'm
chat?
putting
This
that
is
in there
something
now.
that we started creating with you back in October, November, December of the end of the year when we get together for our business plan. The end of the day, what you have is your one pager, and you can look at Q1 right here, and it says, hey, in quarter 1, we're always going to do a client connection campaign that's designed to keep you front and center in front of your top 150. And in January, of course, we do the annual review connection campaign. That one's written down for you. You don't have to write down your client connection campaign. Then you start writing down, what is my client appreciation focus going to be for Q1? Then you write down 1, 2, or 3 projects that you're going to be working on in Q1. And then you write down your text messages that you're going to be sending out during the quarter. And so you can look for the first 3 months of the year and just look at the Q1 path, and that's what you're doing. Well, right now we're in Q2, and in fact, we just finished our Q2 connection campaign with you, which was designed to respond to the exact market at the exact moment, which is the Why Wait connection campaign. A lot of you are still right now following up with your Why Wait responses. And it's time to talk about the Q2 client appreciation. And that's something that we do every quarter is say, hey, client appreciation, what are you doing? How are you doing it? How much money are you spending on it? And that is today's topic. And so to start us out, Jeff, if you'd like to talk a little bit about the money aspect of client appreciation, because I'm recommending that you shift some of your spend away from areas that you cannot calculate your ROI and shift that to the things that we're going to be talking about today. And the only way we can do that is when we know our budget. So Jeff, you have been a leader in the area of finding and creating your client appreciation budget.
Yeah, let's check in. I want to check in with everyone. What did you have planned for Q1? Did you have anything that you planned to give? Did you execute that? Or are we, pointing an arrow from that thing you wanted to do in Q1, we're pointing it over to Q2. So if you could put in chat, did you do some sort of give in Q1? Let's do a little, because we got 75% of the year left. I know you guys are getting busy, which is great, but did you give something in Q1? Client appreciation parties, I love it. Movie night. Good. I'm seeing some great responses. Housewarming parties. Okay. Good. All right. So if you did get something and you gave and you're on your plan, great. If you didn't, it's okay. But you got to give something and do something for your people in the next 3 months. Okay. So don't let it slide by where all of a sudden you're at Thanksgiving and you're like, and someone says, oh, I haven't seen you since last Thanksgiving, when you're giving that pie away. So even if it's small, again, and we'll look at the budget a little bit, but just give something and just see how it makes you feel to give something. It will definitely make you happier than you would be if you weren't
A lot of really great responses coming in the chat right now.
giving. Good. Thoughtful always wins, right? So don't worry about you have to, take someone to an expensive dinner. It doesn't have to be that. Thoughtful always wins. So you knowing your clients and you knowing who's the gardener, who is, who likes baseball, who likes wine, who likes beer, who likes barbecue, being thoughtful and, obviously putting that stuff in your CRM to help you remember. But those are the things that are going to get the most positive response when someone recognizes that you didn't just do this one generic thing for everyone, you did something specific and special for them, I think is the magic.
Yeah, I love that. Like if I know that I want to do something for Mario, I could give him something that I like and something that I cherish, or I could give him a round of golf because I know how much I've never played a day of golf in my life. And the really respectful, mature, thoughtful thing that Jeff says is like, man, if you could ever give people something that they love, we all go crazy for it. And you can always find that on Facebook, and people are always talking about the things they love on Facebook. And that's what Jeff means by thoughtful. So I see a lot of great things in chat, which are like, oh, like I love Eric's he's giving away his dog lovers book that he's written. That's a wonderful give. And I see people putting in here, I'm doing room by room reviews. And I love those because those are acts of service and those count too, right? I don't always have to be spending money, but an act of service is, you guys don't know this, but I met Jeff Robbins because he was walking through his neighborhood and happened to walk in the house of my best friend before I knew Jeff Robbins. He walked in the house of my best friend and said, "Hey, I see that you're putting in radiant heating in your floors. How can I help?" And he spent the day just like giving his time, just walking through the neighborhood. That's an act of service. And so if you don't have the budget, which we're going to talk about right now, do you have the time? Do you have the energy? Can you give them something thoughtful that they love, or give them something that they don't even know that they need yet? All those things count for client appreciation. So Jeff, I could pull up the budget if you
Yeah,
like. Your
let's spend a
form.
minute because and really the budget is to give you permission to not get hung up on, I don't know how much I should spend. That's all this is. It's just permission and commitment to say, yeah, I'm going to give back and I'm going to put this back in my clients. And I'm with Dan. If I could get all your marketing money, whatever you're spending on trying to find new clients, if I could get that money and put it into giving and put it into your neighborhood, I know we could do better than some of the, other lead costs that are out there. So, all right, let's look at this quickly. All right, so Q1's already over. So if you didn't do anything in Q1, right, I know there's some budget, as we move into Q2. So real easy, let's use, a lot of people had tough years last year. I don't know, use that because I think this year's going to be better. So, the easy math is if you had $100,000 GCI, and you were going to give, here we have 2.2%. I like, somewhere between 1 and 3. That's $2,200. You might have a closing gift. You got to factor that in there. But really, at the end of the day, you probably have, $500 a quarter that can go back to your clients. So if you didn't spend it in Q1, let's see if we can spend it in Q2. And even if you're busy, right, we gotta not stop doing things because you get busy, because this is going to pay you back in the long run. Okay.
Indeed.
And you can see
Indeed.
we've got, and we're going to show you some ideas, but somewhere between $200 and $500 in a quarter is all we're asking you to commit.
And so what I'm showing you right now is a magazine style layout of your client appreciation. And this is the middle of the document right here. Mario's going to post it so you can grab your very own copy of it. So Jeff just gave you the sample with the numbers filled in. The page right after that is your blank one. And even better than that blank one, you could print out are the Google Sheets and the Excel sheet that link right into that. So if you're like me and you like storing important data in a Google Sheet, this is your way of doing the calculation for you rather than you having to sit with your calculator and do it. So we're giving you two copies. One, like, hey, here's what it can look like, and here's what yours looks like.
I want
And
to
so let's,
answer a
yeah,
question real quick, Dan. One of our lenders asked about, they're spread out, they don't have a neighborhood per se where they're working or a certain area. Amazon is the most amazing way to get things to people at affordable costs. So again, think thoughtful first. So you could send a book to someone who you know is interested in certain things. You could send an actual item from Amazon. It's the same thing, Ray. It's the same thought. It's just you need help with the delivery of it. You may not be delivering it yourself, but if it were me, I'd be picking 10 clients. Obviously, you have your top guys. Maybe they get more, love, and you do something creative. You get on Amazon, or you do something where they're getting something from you. So you can still give. It's not you may not have a party at your house, but you can still give.
agreed. So here is the document, because I see Rosalind in chat is saying, gosh, I'd love all these ideas in a way that I can retain them and keep them, because I don't just want to rely on trying to grab something from chat. So here's what our beautiful, wonderful friend Lori Westbay helps put together for you and make beautiful. Here's your Spring into Gratitude 5 Ways to Appreciate Your Clients document, including that budget we gave you. So what we do is we look for things that you can do, whether you're in the same state with the person or whether they're across the country. And so the first one you can do, really near and dear to the hearts of myself, Mario, and wonderful people like Terry Moyler, is start sending note cards. This one is not going to impact your 1 to 3% budget very much at all. All you have to do is grab some note cards. They're readily available in large quantities. You should probably go buy some packs of 25, 50, 100, or 500. And every day, 5 days a week, one note card a day minimum is how you build the type of multi 7-figure business that Terry Moyler was able to sell one day. She said, the reason I had a business that I was able to sell is because I wrote note cards every day. You've seen Mario and I talk about it. You've seen Terry Moyler's note card filing cabinet, where she's got cards for every holiday you could imagine in one place, because she's got a commitment, one note card a day minimum. And Terry actually does 3 to 5 note cards a day. I am asking you to challenge yourself only for the next quarter. I'll even say for the rest of this quarter, don't go backwards. Can you write one handwritten note card a day? And those note cards don't have to be long-winded. They can be simple messages like, I love what I do because of clients like you. One sentence. I have a friend, I celebrate Christmas Eve with him every single year for 25 years. He sends me one sentence note cards. Once a quarter, I get a one sentence note card from him. Hey, miss you, Dan. See you soon. And and so we give you like little things, but you can also go on BroWise, the Ask Me Anything, or you can go into Chat GPT and say, hey, there's a person I want to send a handwritten note card. Here's who they are. Here's what they mean to me. Help me say something thoughtful that's going to make them feel appreciated, that's going to make them feel cared for, that's going to make them feel happy today. And you are no longer ever at a loss for words of what to put in a note card. And we're going to give you some things right there that you can put in. So, number one on your list for client appreciation, you have no excuse for. You can try and say my handwriting, but we actually love it when you make the effort, and you can improve your handwriting. That's the only excuse. Not everyone's got it. Um, Handwritten note cards. Don't ask me, can I type it? Don't ask, can I use a computer generated font? Handwrite it. By the end of the quarter, you will have penmanship that you can send to people.
And no one else is doing that, right? This is a unique, you're going to be the person where they say, I get a handwritten note card from Johnny. I don't get that from anyone, including my family, my friends. I mean, no one's doing that, which makes it an interrupter.
Terry Moyler sold her business for 7 figures, saying the thing that gave her that was note cards for all those years. So if you want to sell your business, like not just get commission back from the person who becomes the foster parent for your business, if you want to sell your business, you got to have the kind of relationships that Terry Moyler was able to create with note cards every quarter. We're going to give you things that you could say. And Mario is going to have me in a minute show you, we actually post things you can say every month on the website. We'll take a look at that. In particular, what we give you is number 2, short, sweet text messages. Every month we sit down and we write short, sweet text messages that you can send people. Now, very similar to what you would say in number 1. So here's the note card, but they hit people differently. A note card makes you walk to your mailbox and feel a kind of a time distortion. Like, oh, I remember when I used to get like note cards with $5 bills from my grandma when I was 15 years old in the mail. That's what it's going to look like when you send a note card. There's a feeling with that. Well, a short, sweet text messages gets people in the middle of their day. Oh, so much better than an email. We don't ever ignore our text messages. We don't respond, but we look at them. And if you have an Android or iPhone, you know, with your RCS messages that they looked at it. And so short, sweet text messages, thinking of you, can't wait to hear the sound of your voice again. Every month, take a look. And as soon as I show you these 5 ideas, I'm going to show you on the website where to go get your messages. Number 3, since it is right now in the middle of spring, we just had Valentine's Day, about to have Easter. It's candy season. Only other bigger candy season is Halloween. So look for the things I saw in chat. Who was it? Was it Jim Urban saying, or I know, I think it was Allison Click, Girl Scout cookies. Perfect timing for things like this right now. So you can give a little gift like that as well. And then you could give bigger gifts. And then the bigger gifts fall in the category of, am I looking for $10, 10 to 25, or more than 25? And you just heard what the whole team said a moment ago, which is, can you be thoughtful with that gift? Can you, find something you love, find something they love, and share it with them from a local producer? Oprah used to do that with my favorite things part of her show, where if you just happen to show up on that day, you got her favorite things. Well, what are the things that you can give to people? And if you don't know what that is, you can move past the budget page, and we'll give you ideas for Amazon, vetted things that are relevant for the springtime. I love the first one on the list because it's those floral spring cards. I was saying, go buy yourself some cards. Well, on the list, first off, those are beautiful cards for $10. You could go in the buy referral only store and get our referral seed gift cards or floral or note cards. Just get cards. You got seeds that you can give to people. If you're going to be a little more adventurous, you want to do more than seeds, you could go to a nursery and you could buy. What about this? Look at your top 150, say, who are my top 5 referral sources? Can you go to a nursery and buy them a 15-gallon fruit tree? Sure, it's going to cost you $45, but you can treat people differently based on what you're giving. Some people are going to get seeds, some people are going to get sprouts, some people are going to get a 15-gallon fruit tree. Lotions. I can look at my hands right now. I'm dehydrated, chapped. Lotion is a great springtime gift, and I saw someone in chat was giving out chapstick. It's the time for things like that. Mother's Day ideas, Father's Day ideas. One of Mario's favorite things are welcome mats. And so we usually have welcome mats and different style mats on Amazon that you could give people. So if you're a lender and you say, yeah, but I'm in Virginia and my past clients in Illinois, um, that'll be delivered by Amazon. Same $15. Any
And
address
there's
you
a
tell them to
lot of
send it to.
customization that you can do on Amazon now. So you could put their name on the mat or on, whatever you're sending. 100%.
Right. Does their family have a slogan? Family first, whatever it is. You could put something really deeply personal on that mat if you wanted to, if you knew something about them. That flashlight, magnet flashlight is awesome. I use one of my magnets, like anytime I drop something behind a refrigerator, behind my fish tank. I cannot tell you how many times I've reached for an extendable magnet. And imagine being the person who gave that to me, where every time I grab for it and I'm like, wow, that would have taken me forever. And I say, wow, Jim Urban gave me that extendable magnet that it's always the Jim Urban magnet at that point. And then some cloth towels for the kid, just the things that are going to be valuable and useful. And so this is the document we put together for you every single quarter, so you can put it on your client appreciation sheet. And what we're inviting you to do is give, 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 give more than you take. We get a lot in these industries, both lending and real estate. We're very lucky that one transaction has the value that we can solve any financial problem in our life with 2 transactions in real estate. Bottom line, you're
Dan,
never
can you
more
show
than
our
2
website
transactions.
for the
I
text
absolutely
messages,
will.
please?
Yeah, let's do that right now. So
And I would just say, if we look at Q2, is there something we do for a few of our neighbors because we went to Home Depot and we know that they like flowers? Like maybe there's a few things we do there. May is Mother's Day, right? You got Mother's Day in May, you got Father's Day in June. So there's your 3 months of Q2. You could do something different every month, small, again, small. You see the dad out there with his kids in the wagon pulling them around, like, you know what? He's doing a good job. Maybe there's something for him, as being a good dad.
exactly. You see the person on your street who's always walking their dog and you always talk to them. Um, Dog treats, cat treats, dog toys, a new leash, anything like this is not limited to your top 150. This can be your neighborhood. And actually, we have a special show for you tomorrow. We'll talk about before we end today about how to be the hero in your neighborhood as well. So on the website, as Mario says, I want to show you 2 things. Number one, really important, when you get here today, go to the top of the page and notice that in bright orange yellow, Tribe Builder Summit is coming to San Diego on April 28th, and you can visit us if you want to. You can join us virtually. $495. Spend the day with Joe and me, and more important than all that, that dozen or so leader members of the community who are going to be sharing what they're doing right now to get a result in their business. This is my favorite type of Brovance / Tribe Builder Summit that we do. It's the kind where the star are the people getting the results, and those guys are prepared and preparing for you for the past 2 months to give you exactly what's working right now. So if you can get to us, you can still try to get to us. If you want to join us virtually, join us virtually, and you have a really neat moderated experience with leader member of the community, James Adair, and Mario. Make sure that it's like you're in the room. So please, please, please join us for that. And then what I want you to do, the reason I brought you here, is to scroll down through the website until you get to your section called Timely Texts and Scripts. This is an area of the website that we update for you every single month. It changes, and we say, hey, Allison, here are some April text messages that you can send out. And Mario's would say, hey, Mario, happy spring. The market's warming up. Perfect time to discuss your real estate goals. Let's connect, Dan. So this is an April message that has everything to do in this case with real estate, just to remind them about that. But we have other sections as well. We have ways to start text messages for specifically real estate conversations. Hey, if you have any questions about real estate, or if you simply want to catch up over coffee, I'd love to hear from you. Hey, if you're curious how the spring market's shaping up, I'm always here to provide insights and answer questions. Lender versions. If you're looking for financing options or have any real estate questions, I'm here to help. Have you been looking at real estate interest rates lately? I'd love to get your opinion on it. Do you have time to talk and share your thoughts? And then messages just simply to connect. Hey, just a quick note to say happy spring. I'm grateful for you. Let's catch up soon. I'd love to connect. Hey, it's been too long since we last talked or connected. I'd love to reconnect. Can we chat this week? Every month we have new messages in here in this section, and not to be overshadowed by the fact that we also do that with all your social media assets. So we give you posts for the month. As you scroll down through here, you're going to see your springtime posts, and you're going to get posts for inspiration, posts for because you're in the industry, holidays, and every month we give you things that are Facebook, Instagram ready, whatever social media platform you're using. And I just love the thought that you remember these two buttons every single month.
And no one's going to complain when you're posting nice things like that, or you're posting pictures of your Easter egg hunt, or all of the positive things. People are looking for that, and puppies and kids, whatever, grandkids. Get that stuff on there.
We need a break from all the political stuff, and we need to see some things that show that hey, I'm here the way that I was for you then. I'm still here for you. And leadership and positivity is what we all need more of right now. Isn't that what the world needs now? It's more love, sweet love. And so those are messages that are just give people a break right now. Just remind them of relationship and remind them of connection. And so Mario and I, every quarter, we get on here and we say the same thing. What money can you take from your marketing budget that is not serving you and turn it into money making your little world a better place? What I mean by that is I don't want you to stop doing things that are working. Like if you're spending money on ads and it's giving you a return on investment, for goodness sakes, don't stop that. If you can say, I spend $500 and I make $1,500, well, there's a difference between, is your marketing a vending machine or a slot machine? If your marketing is a vending machine, you put money in and you get money out, great, keep it up. If your marketing looks more like a slot machine, you got to convert as much of that money as you can to what we're telling you to do here today. If you're going to throw it in the trash, you might as well give it to people you like.
And I would say, Dan, this group, from all my experience and all my conversations, they're not spending a ton of money on outside marketing to go get leads. It's more time's passing them by and they're getting busy and they're maybe not spending on their people, so it may just be taking it out of your wallet and giving it to your people versus shifting it from, I've been buying Zillow leads. I know that, most of us, you guys are not doing that. So if you're not giving what you've committed to give and what you feel like you want to give, I see that as the bigger opportunity.
Yeah, don't let busy be the enemy of connection.
There you go, Jerry.
Right.
Jerry raised his hand. He agreed, right? So our group they get the value of spending and committing to your own tribe, and we just have to just keep on it, right? And we all do it. We all have best intentions.
Hey, Mario,
you
what do you
guys,
want to share there?
what I wanted to do is I'm going right back to the PDF that you were screen sharing, Dan. You were giving the ideas and all that good stuff. And then Jeff brought up another good point. There's Lowe's, there's Home Depots, there's your backyard, meaning your neighbors, and be the hero. Dan, I heard you say those words. And, right now, right, it is spring. Now, I know not in every little pocket. I got a little rain last week, but still, it's time to be prepared, and we're giving you the ideas, and we want to give you a little bit more. When you do drive out and you see your neighbors out there and you think, oh, you know what, I'm actually going to Home Depot, and you grab something and you're thinking about them. Maybe it's seeds, maybe it's whatever, right? It's just the thought, right? But the other thing that you want to give your neighbors is a home service provider list. Just basic, guys. Just basic. Like, just, you have them on your cell phone, guys. You have them here. They are your relationships. They will also thank you because you're introducing them to your neighbors. But if you look at this sample here of what a home service provider list could look like, I mean, you've got your landscaping services, pressure washing services, right? Spring cleaning. Let's pressure wash the driveway. Window cleaning, AC tune-up, pest control services, handyman, tree trimming, home organizing pros, house cleaning, pet groomer, exterior home painter, sprinkler system tune-up. Like, you approach with the gift from Home Depot, Lowe's, and this,
Yeah.
thinking you're looking like a pretty good leader in your community, your block.
Mario, think about what happens when you do this. You could give this service to somebody as well. Now imagine that you go to your handyman who may be concerned about their business right now, and you go to one of your clients and say, hey, I see you're out, working in your yard. I'm going to send over my landscaper for a day. I'm going to send over my handyman for a day. And now you're gifting the service to your friend, and maybe you're paying for that service. You're changing two lives now instead of one. Or, as Mario says, just sharing the referral is also enough. Like, this is what I meant. Don't let busy be the enemy of connection. Like, every day, refer somebody. And that brings us to like the third segment of what we're going to talk about today, because we're really organized, because Mario has meetings with us and says segment 1, segment 2, segment 3. Well, segment 3 is for those of you who've been saying, but Dan, I really like having a before unit in my business. I really need to market to find strangers. Well, we have a way of doing that too. We call it the Dominate Your Farm program or the Dominate Your Neighborhood program. And we actually have a special class for you tomorrow for Dominate Your Neighborhood. And I'd love for both Mario and Jeff to talk about Dominate Your Neighborhood, because when you hear how it works, you start to realize that it is the exact mesh of what we're talking about right now with your top 150. Earlier, when I mentioned that my best friend met Jeff Robbins before I met Jeff Robbins, because Jeff was part of his community, part of his neighborhood. He will step over nothing walking up his street. If he says something, he becomes part of it. And Jeff is actually the person who shifted us from a before unit that was ugly yellow signs to be a human being in your neighborhood. And that's the Dominate Your Neighborhood program. Mario and Jeff have a special class that's going to go even more in depth with that tomorrow at 8:30 Pacific time than what we'll do right now. But because it folds in nicely to what we're talking about, which is how to show up as a giving, positive leader in your neighborhood, on your street, within 6 blocks of your house, why don't you guys take it away? Because the two of you actually invented this philosophy, and holy cow, it's so much better than paying for leads.
I'm gonna say it was Jeff's baby. Jeff
It was.
created this. Yes, and when I say he created it, it always comes from that place for me when as long as I've known you, Jeff, it's always what he started with. How can I improve the areas that I'm around, the people that I am, that I know, and obviously your backyard, you know it very well. And then when you said, "Oh, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood," like be a better neighbor. And so, yeah, I superimposed Jeff's head on Mr. Rogers' neighborhood one day as a joke, but that's where it comes from. The beginning is just improve your neighborhood where you live, and the word positivity, Jeff. That's what I wanted to say about that because it's all true. Jeff,
So
your
Jeff, what are
thoughts?
some ideas for today in the few minutes that we have that'll be valuable? And then why should people join you again tomorrow to continue this conversation?
I would I would just say I think the neighborhood is overlooked. And I think that you guys are out trying to join BNI meetings and you're networking and you're out, you're out there getting in your car, getting dressed up, get hustle over, got to get to the meeting. Oh, it's another meeting. I got to go. And because I'm trying to meet someone new and I'm trying to network to meet new people. And there's a thing, and I'm not smart enough to know exactly what it is, but there's this thing like, oh, I don't want to bother my neighbors. And I just think it's a little bit of a lost idea of being a good neighbor. And I just think it's still possible that you can do nice things for your neighborhood. You don't have to get in your car. You don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to do any of that. You can just be thoughtful in your neighborhood. So the premise is, there's a postcard that goes out every month to at least 50 of your neighbors. It's a $33 investment or something like that.
Yeah.
And the postcard just promises that you're going to give them something. And we've created all these assets for you to give, the landscaping guide, the taking care of your pet in the summer guide. Like the whole thing is choreographed so that we're forcing you to give something to somebody, or your neighbors are looking at you and saying, wow, this guy just keeps coming with things to give me. Like it's so cool. And even if they're not asking, hey, can I have that, all those resources are in there. So I would just say there's no easier way to meet people, in my opinion, than in your own neighborhood. And especially now, everyone's out walking around, everyone's excited. People are out working on the yard, the garden. It's just right there. So, whether you want to have a postcard going out or you want to do that, whatever, it's fine. Like that's just our way to throw your hat over the fence. But don't overlook the neighborhood as an opportunity to meet new people. And you might be surprised, that it may not be about selling that neighbor's house. You may actually become friends with that neighbor and they're referring their friends and family to you because you're now a friend. Don't be afraid of that. And I don't, I'm not a big fan of the, hey, do you want to sell your house? You want to sell your house in my neighborhood? It's, are you a cool person that I want to meet and I want to connect with and I want to help and maybe you'll help me? I mean, neighbor stuff. So don't overlook that. I don't know the percentage, but I'm guessing that 85% of you are in a neighborhood. I have 2 homes next to me, and then the neighborhoods are filling in. But you know, that's most people are living in a neighborhood with at least 50 homes. So just don't overlook that as an opportunity. Dan says before unit, that's meeting new people. And we've just put a ton of time in making sure the resources for that program are top notch. So if you want to join us tomorrow, it's an hour. We'll show you how it starts. We'll show you how the program goes. And you know, you should get good value from that and some good ideas on working.
I put the link in chat that when you click the link, it'll give you the link to join us. It's also on our website under upcoming events. You'll see it there, right there under Dominate Your Neighborhood. Again, guys, tomorrow, Thursday the 10th at 8:30 a.m. Pacific.
Yes,
join us. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Join us live so we can answer questions and, you know, get into your specific situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are nuances and we can go through those.
Jeff lives in rural town, like he said, 2 neighbors. I do not. And when you take the time to get to know your neighbors, it's a beautiful thing, guys. It's a beautiful thing. These are all cards that I've received over the last month from my neighbors.
Wow.
And many of you know why.
Oh my God. Mario is the mayor of his area, and that's a
that's Max. Max
that's
is
aspirational.
Mayor.
It's aspirational, but Mario will put his arms around everyone he can, and it's aspirational for us. I'll say us, but even a little bit, you know, and again, showing up for someone, Mario shows up for everyone. So then, of course, everyone wants to show up for Mario. So it does.
Cool. I love that, Terrell. Signed up. Cool.
Yeah. Good.
We're gonna have fun tomorrow. Cool.
Good. Lynn, if you're already participating in Dominate Your Neighborhood, you could come to encourage others. But other than that, I think you're already doing it. And go talk to a neighbor during that hour and introduce yourself.
Yes.
Good.
Do it.
Yeah. If anyone's in the Dominate Your Neighborhood and you can talk about, you know, that feeling and being in there, again, I look at it as, you know, if you just got in the game and you took the 50 houses around your house and we help you find those. If you just started with that, you're now in the game for your neighborhood, and you will have people say, "Oh, I saw you on this postcard," because there is a picture of you on, like, it's, hey, I'm your neighbor. And that is the gist is, I am your neighbor and I'm right here and I'm going to help.
So it's important to note when you show up tomorrow that campaign is more than, like I mentioned earlier, Jeff walking the neighborhood and meeting people. It is a postcard campaign, as Jeff says, that'll run you $33 to reach a certain number of people. That one of our early pioneers of that program, Mike Yerkish, I just, you know, can see his face on these postcards that are not marketing. They are a postcard about me being a neighbor, happens to be in the industry, but really it's an introduction of how you're. So even if you say, "Oh, Dan, I'm not very mobile anymore and I can't pick up a hammer and help people," you don't need to be for this program. You need to be able to send a postcard that promises a commitment that, hey, I'm here with you, creating and adding value for our community. Show up and see that whole message. I know that Jeff and Mario have been like experts on this program. If you're looking for something in your before unit, this is on the list, certainly.
Yeah. And we'll close it with that. If there are other agents mailing postcards into your neighborhood, they are not going to hit as hard as you being in that neighborhood. So if you know what I would say, what if you don't want to sell homes in your neighborhood, which I can't imagine that's the case, but if you didn't, it still makes sense to connect with neighbors because they're going to have friends and family that need to move, and you can help them somewhere else. So I can't even make the argument that you wouldn't want to sell a home or help someone in your neighborhood, because I just don't think that's true. All right, enough on that, Dan. Thank you guys.
Hey, indeed.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think in
thank you.
closing, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow in there. And also, you know, again, it's not too late to join us for the April 28th summit. And, you know, if you think about what we discussed today and what our amazing team has put together as far as ideas for spring, there are going to be many more ideas. We have 12 other, you know, speakers who are going to share what's working for them, what's relevant. You know, and again, I will be co-host. I love the streaming myself, but I love hugging you more live. It's just me, right? But it's not too late, especially you guys. I'm talking to you in Southern California. If it's a day trip, beach route, guys, 5 South. Come on, come on.
We need more
Virtually,
connection.
we're
We
there.
need more connection, and we've got to seek that and make sure we get that.
Perfect. Right.
Look at that. Look at all the people chiming in chat. They'll be there. Jan Cotton, Marcia Power is lovely.
Yeah,
Nita will be there remotely.
Nancy Black's going to be up on the stage.
Nice.
Got some pros in here.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Jeff, thank you for
guys.
being here. Always when we need you, you're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And thank all of you for being here live. We appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I guess.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.